Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. WWE superstar Roman Reigns finally learned about CM Punk's favor on the latest episode of SmackDown, where he asked Paul Heyman to join him for WrestleMania 41. Surprisingly, the Hall of Famer left Reigns' side to ally with the Second City Saint. Here are 3 potential consequences the Wiseman could face for changing allegiances right before the show of shows. Roman Reigns laughed in CM Punk's face when he asked for Paul Heyman to join him. He said that the Wiseman wouldn't go, and he asked Heyman to gently decline Punk's request. However, despite the OTC repeatedly asking his Wiseman to say no, the Hall of Famer couldn't refuse to join the Second City Saint. This was followed by CM Punk dropping the former undisputed WWE champion with a go-to-sleep. Heyman has the best interests of the head of the table in mind and wants to repay Punk for helping the OTC in his War Games match at the 2024 Survivor Series. However, this betrayal will undoubtedly earn him the wrath of the former 2-time Universal Champion. Considering that the tribal chief doesn't take anyone's exit from the bloodline lightly, he could brutally punish Paul Heyman. Moreover, he could put his Wiseman through a table, just like Solo Sikoa's crew last year. Roman Reigns defeated Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat match on WWE Raw's Netflix debut. This victory reunited him with his Eula Fala and the title of the only tribal chief. Notably, The Rock was the one who put the prestigious Simone garland around Reigns' neck and hugged his cousin after the win. While the final boss has revealed that he is still a heel, he hasn't shown any animosity towards the head of the table. Furthermore, the High Chief was very protective of Reigns' undisputed championship run at WrestleMania XL and was the biggest obstacle in Cody Rhodes' path. He also kept attacking the American Nightmare throughout the road to WrestleMania, both mentally and physically. Therefore, by using his authority as a member of the TKO Group Holdings Board of Directors, he could fire the Hall of Famer. Roman Reigns' tribal chief arc began in 2020 when Paul Heyman joined him as his Wiseman, helping to forge the bloodline. The Hall of Famer served as his mouthpiece whenever the OTC was off television. However, without him by his side, the head of the table has faced a significant setback. To get back at Paul Heyman for this betrayal, and to show him that he doesn't need him anymore, Roman Reigns could recruit a new Wiseman. Interestingly, WWE legend Armando Estrada may be the most suitable candidate to replace Heyman in this position. Estrada was recruited last year by the Stanford-based promotion under a Legends contract. The 48-year-old is renowned for being the manager of one of the Samoan lineage's most ferocious wrestlers, Umaga. This could make Paul Heyman second-guess his decision, and he could potentially try to return to his tribal chief. It would be interesting to see who among CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins emerges victorious at the show of shows. Ankit Singh is a WWE features writer at Sportskeeda Wrestling. His educational background in psychology helps him gain insight into several storyline twists in pro wrestling. Ankit has been a fan of the industry since childhood. The on-screen action gives him an adrenaline rush and led him to pursue a career in content writing. He has nearly 3 years of experience in the industry, working for organizations like Essentially Sports and NB Media as a news writer, editor, and scriptwriter. Ankit started following pro wrestling in high school. At the time, Edge, Aka Cope, was making waves as part of his world heavyweight title feud with Alberto Del Rio. He grew up watching modern-day greats such as Sheamus, Randy Orton, and John Cena. The Shield was the top faction in WWE in 2012-13, and its breakup storyline made Ankit a lifelong fan of the sport. Orton and Seth Rollins are Ankit's favorite wrestlers in the men's division. He admires the Viper's character work, in-ring skills, and longevity. Meanwhile, he looks up to the Visionary because the latter is a complete wrestler, in his opinion. Ankit likes Liv Morgan's heel gimmick and promo skills in the women's division. He was also fond of AJ Lee's presentation and microphone skills in the PG era. In the world of WWE, loyalty is currency, and betrayal is deadly. No one knows this better than Paul Heyman, the master manipulator, the advocate, the wise man of the bloodline. For years, Heyman has stood at Roman Reigns' side, whispering strategy, building legacy, and helping cement the tribal chief as one of the most dominant champions in WWE history. But what happens when the wise man wavers? With CM Punk's return to WWE still sending shockwaves through the locker room and the WWE universe, speculation has begun to bubble. What if Paul Heyman, the man who once introduced Punk as the best in the world, chooses to realign with his former client? It's not just fantasy booking. It's a powder keg waiting to explode. If Paul Heyman dares to turn his back on Roman Reigns and align himself with CM Punk once more, the fallout wouldn't just be seismic, it would reshape the very foundations of WWE storytelling. Here are 3 massive consequences Heyman could face if he betrays the tribal chief and sides with the voice of the voiceless. 1. Exile from the bloodline and brutal retribution from Roman Reigns. The first and most obvious consequence? Roman Reigns won't just take it personally, he'll take it violently. Heyman isn't just a strategist to Roman, he's family. He's the wise man. For Reigns, loyalty isn't just a virtue, it's a demand. We've seen what happens to those who defy him. Just ask Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, or even Jimmy when he strayed too far. Roman doesn't do quiet breakups, he does televised executions. If Heyman turns on Roman and throws his lot in with Punk, he's marked. The bloodline doesn't just cut ties. They crush threats. Picture this. A dramatic episode of SmackDown where Heyman stands by Punk's side, declaring a new era. Roman, Solo Sikoa, and possibly a returning Jimmy Uso storm the ring. Not to talk, but to maul. A cinematic beatdown. A message in blood and betrayal. Heyman may be a master talker, but the bloodline plays by tribal law, and betrayal demands punishment. Even if Heyman escapes the immediate aftermath, he'll be exiled from the empire he helped build. No more backstage power, no more protection. And in WWE, being alone is often more dangerous than being hated. 2. A power struggle that ignites a war between Punk and the bloodline. Aligning with CM Punk wouldn't just be about personal loyalty for Heyman, it would be about business. And business would instantly become war. With Heyman backing Punk, we could witness the emergence of a new faction, a counterforce to the bloodline. Heyman's influence, knowledge of Roman's inner circle, and history with both Punk and Reigns would fuel a chess match of manipulation, mind games, and mayhem. And let's not forget, CM Punk has been itching to burn things down. Heyman could act as the architect behind a rebellion, helping Punk recruit outcasts, bitter allies, and hungry talents who've been pushed aside by the bloodline's dominance. Imagine a faction featuring Punk, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and a returning Randy Orton, led by Heyman, with one goal: dismantle the Empire. This would push Roman into a corner he's rarely in, a place of vulnerability, with Heyman giving Punk the psychological edge and an inside look at how the bloodline operates. The balance of power would shift. For Heyman, this would be a thrilling return to chaos, but also a dangerous game, because the war he starts may spiral far beyond his control. 3. Heyman risks losing everything, including his legacy. Paul Heyman has always been a survivor. Whether it was guiding Brock Lesnar to destroy the streak, launching EC2E from a bingo hall, or masterminding Roman's historic title reign, Heyman has carved out a legacy as the most influential non-wrestler in WWE history. But choosing Punk over Roman might be the move that costs him everything. Heyman thrives when he aligns with power, but CM Punk is not a guaranteed success story. Punk is volatile. He burns bridges as easily as he crosses them. Even fans who adore him know he's combustible. If Heyman backs Punk and it backfires, if Punk self-destructs, walks out, or loses to Roman, Heyman will be left powerless, alone, and irrelevant. Worse still, the locker room might finally lose patience with him. Heyman's presence in creative conversations is legendary, but WWE is evolving. New stars are rising. If he picks the wrong horse in this race, he could find himself edged out by Triple H's newer, more modern vision for the company. Once a kingmaker, Heyman could become yesterday's news, the man who gambled his throne and lost. It's not just about a storyline. It's about legacy. And for a man who's spent decades cementing his place in wrestling history, the Raw move now could tarnish everything he's built. Final thoughts. Paul Heyman is no fool. Every word he speaks, every alliance he forms, every betrayal he commits, it's all calculated. So if he does choose to betray Roman Reigns and stand with CM Punk, he won't be doing it lightly. He'll know the risks. He'll know the consequences. And that's what would make it so electrifying. It wouldn't just be a storyline twist. It would be the turning point in one of the most layered WWE narratives in years. Roman, Punk, Heyman, the past, the present, the master, the rebels. The collision writes itself.